Welcome back. In our last presentation, we looked at a workflow app that implemented a three-step process. The business purpose was to create a quotation for garage door installation in response to a request from a customer. We looked at that app mainly from a design perspective. Now we are going to experience it as a user. Here is the flowchart that shows the entire process. It has three main steps, which are done by the sales rep, sales manager, and by the installation specialist. Here we are on iPhora App Place. I'm currently logged in as John Hill, the owner of Acme Universal Garage Doors. This is the home page, which lists all of the apps that I have access to, including the Garage Door RFQ app. You can open any app by clicking or tapping. When we open the Garage Door RFQ app, the first thing we see is a list of documents. Such a list is called a grid, and these are workflow documents. Each one represents a customer request for a quotation on garage door installation. Currently, the documents are sorted based on the first column, the quotation ID column, but you can resort on any column, such as the workflow status. Now the documents are sorted based on whether they are in progress, draft, or completed. The buttons at the top of the grid are used to create a new workflow, delete an existing workflow, or to access the application settings. Let's take a quick look at the settings. The settings dashboard now appears. This dashboard provides general information about the app, as well as the total number of users. However, what I really want to show you right now is the user role assignment. This is where you assign users into different workflow roles. This app has three custom roles: sales rep, sales manager, and installation specialist. Let's find out who is currently assigned into these roles. The sales rep is the person who does step 1. This is currently assigned to Jill Hill. Note that more than one person can be assigned into a role. If you want to add another sales rep, just type the first few letters of the person's name in the search box, and then select them from the list. The sales manager is the person who does step 2. This role is currently assigned to John Hill, who also happens to be the app manager, which is why he can access and change the app settings. And the installation specialist is Jack Hill. He does the last step of the process. Let's now create a new request for quotation. In order to do this properly, we need to log in as Jill Hill, the sales rep. There, we are now logged in as Jill. Let's go ahead and create a new workflow. The workflow form now appears in edit mode and is ready to be filled in. We are currently on step 1. Let's start filling in the form. And next we need to upload a picture of the existing door. We are now ready to submit the request to the sales manager. As you can see, a new workflow document has appeared. Let's log in as John Hill so we can do step 2. There are two ways for John to be informed about a new workflow. First, he would receive an email. In the trial version of iPhora, we included a simulated inbox to collect all email notifications. Let's open it now. Here is the email notification that was sent to John. As you can see, it clearly notifies John Hill about a new workflow. Another way is to use the My Tasks tab on your homepage. This tab lists all the workflows that currently need your attention. It also shows how many days each workflow has been waiting on the current step. Let's open the most recent one. Here is the same workflow document that was submitted by Jill. As you can see, it's now 33% done. And the instructions call for the performer of this step to check all fields to make sure they have been filled in correctly. Once that is done, we have two options. We can approve the document, in which case it moves forward to the next step, or we can ask for changes, in which case it moves back to step 1, and an email is sent to Jill to let her know that it needs revision. In this case, we are going to approve it, but first we are going to add a comment in the history. The workflow app is now on step 3, waiting for the installation specialist to prepare and attach the final quote. We just logged in as Jack Hill, so we can do this step. First, let's check the local inbox to see if there's a notification about this workflow. Here it is. Note that the comment that John Hill added to the history was automatically included in the email. Now let's open the workflow and complete it. Here is the workflow document. At this point, Jack would review the information and then prepare a detailed quote using Excel. Let's assume this is already done. We're now going to attach the quote and complete the process. The workflow document submitted by Jill is now complete. Let's log back in as Jill to see how she would find out about this. Here we are logged in as Jill. Jill would receive an email notification. And here it is. As you can see, it notifies that the workflow has made it through all steps and is now complete. Let's open the completed workflow to see what it looks like. It now appears with all the fields in read-only mode. And Jill can click on the attachment to download it and present it to the customer. One last thing. Each workflow contains a complete record of all the actions performed on it. This is called a history, and it can be viewed at any time. And there it is. And that is how you use an iPhora workflow app. And if you would like to know more about business process automation and iPhora solutions, just visit iPhora.io.